Talking with Topher is sponsored by slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com, New Hampshire Vape Gallery, and naturalbossnh.com. More on that later. Let's get into episode 97. Talking with Topher. Talking with Topher. Talking with Topher. What is happening, TwT fans? It is so good to be back on this Monday, February 7th, 2022. Yeah, we got 7 days till Valentine's Day, huh? We're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to talk about what's going on with my life and what's going on with this podcast. You know what I mean? But before we get into all of that, I want to say thank you to all my subscribers for doing what you do. You share, you rate, you review, you like, you comment. All those things is so greatly appreciated, and each and every single one of you keep me coming back here week after week. If you're new to the podcast, remember to subscribe. That's right. You watching, listening, hit that subscribe button. It's the only thing I'm asking you to do. Means everything to me and nothing to you. So go ahead and do that. You can also share, rate, review, give a thumbs up for the videos, and of course, set those alarms so you know when all the new episodes upload. If you want to follow me, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. Again, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. I'm on there every week, almost all week, trying to give you extra content throughout the week. So again, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. And if you want to get more involved with the podcast, I still have Slow Down merchandise. You want to know how to get some? It's very simple. Send an email, whether you're asking for advice, telling a story. Maybe you're telling a story that just needs to be heard. Put Slow Down in the subject line and send that on over to talkinwithtopher at gmail.com. That's talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And you get your opportunity to get some free Slow Down merch while supplies last. And now with all that out of the way, let's get into today's episode. What is happening, everybody? How are you feeling? I am feeling a lot better. My day so far has been pretty crazy. I'm just going to get right into it. I had a guest lined up. Now I don't. And that's fine. You know, I think what hurts more is not getting notification from the guest or any information at all on what was going on, why. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to make it so more people do or do not want to come on to the podcast. But it's very frustrating, one, to try and set up a guest. It's very, it's tough. It's very tough. People's schedules are all over the place. Things are going on. Life gets in the way. But, you know, it's also more difficult when the guest never contacts you. So I apologize. I put out a post this morning. Of course, it was Monday morning, and now it's Thursday for all of you out there. So I put out a post on Monday, and yeah, I thought I had a guest. It was all lined up. We talked about it on Sunday, and here we are Monday at, 5 o'clock, and he was already supposed to be here. We should be recording already. So I'm a little bummed out. Like I said, I'm not saying that, this person can't come back on, or I don't, but I'm going to let everybody out there know that, this stuff's hard. It's difficult, and it's not easy, and it's also more difficult when the person that is supposed to be coming over or talking to you, whatever, absolutely no response, nothing. So it was like I got ghosted. It was weird. But hey, shit gets in the way, life gets in the way. So I just hope everything is okay. You know what I mean? I don't want I just hope everything's okay. You know, there's usually a reason why people do what they do. You don't know what the reason is, so you make guesstimations, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. But hey, I wish him the best. I hope everything goes well, and we will figure this out in the future. You know what I mean? But let's see what else is going on. I had a great week. I got out of the funk that I was in. I feel like I could have called last week's podcast pity party, because I felt like I was just having a pity party for myself. But that was real, and I wanted everybody to see the realness. This is not easy. This is not something that just happens. Depression is something that you live with forever, kind of like the alcoholism that I'm fighting with all the time. Anxiety is something that never goes away. But the way that I figured everything else out for myself is that it was best to get off the medication and actually deal with the problem at hand, because I never did. I was too drunk to realize what was going on, so I would just take pills, and then all of a sudden I get rid of the alcohol, and I'm like, oh, okay, let's get rid of the pills and see what this is all really like. So it's not something that I am gonna go get a pill for, and I'm not doing that. I'm not going down that road again, and that's my personal choice. I don't discourage anybody from getting any type of antidepressant medication. I was on it for over 20 years. I'm not a proponent of it, but I'm also not saying that it's a horrible thing. I think it does work. I think it does help. I just don't think it's right for me right now. So it was just one of those weeks. Like I said, I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm feeling, it was nice to be able to deal with it, though. That was the other thing, is that I was actually capable of dealing with it. So to be able to do that today and then talk about it is a huge milestone for me. I wish I could be funny, I want to be funny, and I'm not. I wish there was a way for me to do that. And then, that all comes naturally, and none of this is natural for me. So, I know I'm not a funny podcast. I know I'm not a factual podcast, but I hope I bring something to someone, at some point in time. But yeah, my depression was very heavy last week. It brought back a lot of thoughts. I don't know if the gray clouds and the snow is so annoying now and frustrating. We're only, 7 days into February. We got 21 left. And so, I think it's also a mixture of some seasonal depression is what I'm getting at. But, it's real. And we all have to deal with it on different levels. And I just hope that I brought some light, that it's not all smiles and happiness, and everything is not easy. And I hope I've made that very clear, that a lot of the stuff that I'm doing in my life is not easy. It's not happening overnight. And I did focus a lot on, being negative, focusing on the negative and barely looking at the positive. And I'm looking more at the positive today, a lot of positive, a lot of things going the way that I want them to, which is really, really nice, and a great change of pace. And that's because I've been putting the work in, I think a lot of that gets lost with Instagram and Facebook and all this shit, and everybody posting what they're cooking, or posting the happy moments. So when you're flipping through, all you're looking at is happy moments, and you're like, oh, why can't I be as happy as that person? If you just took pictures of all your happy moments and put those all up, that's what somebody would say about you. Nobody is going to really post anything negative, because they don't want to come off as negative, And when something bad happens, that's usually not going to make it to the posting, unless it's a funny accident or unless they wind up in the hospital, then they'll take pictures of surgery. So you have to remember what you're seeing on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, whatever. It's only part of the story. You don't know what the person's struggle was to get to that point unless they've made it extremely clear. So when you look at that stuff, keep that in mind. They're not all happy people out there. They're just sharing their happiest moments, So I think I got lost in a little bit of that, a little seasonal depression, a little actual depression, a little bit of alcoholism kicking in, wishing I was drinking or reminiscing about my drinking days. So all of those things combined can make for a very shitty state of mind. It really can. And I think that's just where I was, So I'm feeling a lot better now. We got through the clouds, but it's just one of those things, Shit happens, and you have to deal with it, and how you deal with it is going to either bring you out on the other side, a better person, or it's going to leave you in that position of wallow. And I'm glad that I now can go through these emotions sober, in a sense. I'm glad I can go through these emotions without alcohol, because it makes it a lot easier to deal with them on all aspects. So for that, I am grateful and thankful that I'm capable of doing that. But at the same time, it still doesn't make it any less real when you go through it. It really doesn't. And I'm just glad that I have this to show people, it's not always a good time. It's not always a good time, but we make it through, and then we get to the fun times. All right. Let's see. I didn't have too much prepared for the podcast because, like I said, I had something else set up, and now I'm just trying to figure it out, Crazy. The snowstorm wasn't that bad on Friday. I do have to say that, like, the ice was pretty bad, and the fact that there was, it wasn't too bad for me. Shoveling obviously sucked, and you know what? The storm sucked, period. Now that I'm thinking about it, that was the ice storm, then it was snow, then it was ice, then it was rain, then it was more snow. So no, it sucked. But getting to work wasn't too bad. It wasn't bad at all. I got there. It wasn't as much shoveling this time around because at least in Seabrook, it was more rain. In Manchester, I got to shovel everything and get out of my house at a reasonable amount of time. Unfortunately, when I got home and it had rained and then snowed, and then started raining again, that I could not get off my driveway. So I did everything I could, got cleaned up. I got sent home early because during the day there was over 200 car crashes in Massachusetts. So they were telling everybody to stay off the road. So by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I was like dead. I go to lunch. I get off lunch. I'm waiting, for customers. I'm just kind of going through the store. I'm cleaning shelves. I'm just doing stuff. And I get a text message, you can go home. And I was like, oh, well, I'm in the middle of a few things, so I think I'm going to hold out for a little bit. He said, fine. I was like, okay. And I hold out, and I'm like, man, there's nobody coming. I get everything done that I need to get done. I start getting the store prepped up for closing. And then, I fucking locked that bitch up, and I went home. And I was like, okay, so I go home. It took me an hour, which is not as bad as last time. Like I said, driving wasn't as bad. Even you just had to be cautious, the ice, the water. But they salted pretty good. They plowed pretty well by 5 p.m. It was pretty decent on the road. But I definitely was resisting, or I was I didn't want to leave too quickly because I was like, one, I wasn't planning on leaving until 8. Two, I did not want to be part of the amount of accidents out there. I was like, oh, I'm just going to keep waiting because I feel like that was safer. And then 3, when I finally left, I felt like it was late enough. They got a majority of it cleaned up, and it was a decent travel home on both sides of the highway. And then, I got home and I had to clean off the rest of the driveway. And then yesterday, I friggin' go out there, right? And I got some rock salt. It's pet safe because I have 2 dogs, so I don't want anything that could hurt their paws or whatever. And so I always buy pet safe stuff. But this stuff looked like little round, like saucers almost, little discs. And I spread it everywhere, and it literally makes like little tiny pilot holes through the snow and the ice. And I don't know what that was supposed to do, but literally you put the piece of salt on the snow and it would just burrow a channel the size of the salt right through the snow all the way to, and that's it. And I'm like, well, this isn't melting anything. It's just making all kinds of holes and everything, and it was still slippery. So I have no idea which one this was. I bought it last year, dumped it in the barrel, and, just put it away for the winter. I mean, for the summer and for the spring and summer. And then I brought it back out, and I was like, oh, I just got to use this because I couldn't get that snow off the driveway, and I'm not going to sit out there and ice pick it. That's back-breaking and a waste of time, and all you do is hurt yourself. It's really not worth it. But, yeah, really weird. I was like, what is this salt doing? I didn't understand how it was supposed to work. I even went out there with a shovel, and it's not like it loosened up the snow. It's still as hard as it ever was. It's just now it looks like Swiss cheese. I'm like, this is fucking the weirdest salt I've ever used in my life. So I just got to go find some actual rock salt for my driveway, and then I'll use the pet safe stuff on the deck and the where the boys run out into the yard and stuff. I'll use the pet safe stuff over there, and I got to get some real shit for the driveway. But I was like, I was so confused. I was like, I don't remember it being like this. But it also leaves a weird residue, if I remember correctly, that like got tracked all over the house, and it was horrible. It was horrible, and I'm kind of glad it's gone because now I got some new shit, and it works a hell of a lot better. But now it's raining and snowing again, so we shall see what happens. I'm hoping, with the temperature rising, a little bit of rain, maybe it'll activate it and it'll make more of the snow go away. I don't know, but I put I got a 5-pound bucket. It was full and now it's empty. So I put 5 pounds of this shit all over the place. And I was so upset. It really looked like I did nothing. It was so funny. It was funny because what are you supposed to do about that? You friggin' spent the $15. You threw it all over the fucking place, and it didn't do anything. I mean, what do? You laugh, right? You got to. I had to. I was like, oh, I better laugh because yelling and screaming is going to get me nowhere. So, I mean, for the week, it was really great. Obviously, Wednesday, Thursday class was amazing as usual. I got into a position on Thursday at Rick's school where I had 2 sleeves. I'm on my back. I got my De La Riva hook in, and then I spread the guy's leg, and at that moment in time on Thursday, I went blank. And then that brings me to today, where we were doing that exact move, and then everything was set up the same. I was like, oh, okay, I've been here. And then he's like, then you do this, this, and this. And I was like, oh, no kidding. It's my favorite when a light bulb turns on. It was like, oh, okay, I had everything up to that point, and I thought I was supposed to be attacking or doing this. I mean, there was a few other variations of things that I could do from that position. But what he showed us made so much sense to me that I was like, oh, if I had just done X, Y, and Z, that's how it would have turned out. But I only did the first 3 parts of the move. I was just like, I don't know where to go from here. And now I do. So it was an amazing, amazing class this morning. And like I said, I'm in a much better mood now, so things are looking up. I mean, everything else is still as stressful as it always is. But, I don't know what came over me or why I was down in the dumps or why I'm happy now. I don't know. I have no idea what changed. Maybe it was the discussion me and my wife had. But, this brings me to Valentine's Day. So my thing about Valentine's Day is that it's a Hallmark holiday, okay? Let's call it what it is. It's made up. It actually was for a massacre, right? So not exactly lovey-dovey. So how they turn a massacre day into a love your partner day, significant other, whatever you want to call each other, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm not going through the list of everything I could call you. I feel like it's a waste of time. You call yourself what you want to be called, and I'll call you that. You know what I mean? I'm willing to do that, but I'm not willing to sit here and make sure that I'm not offending anybody anymore. This is ridiculous. But I don't know how they got from that to where we are today. But it's okay. I'm trying to be somewhat sensitive. It's not that important of a day, okay? People literally kill themselves on Valentine's Day because they don't have somebody to be with. And I want to tell all of you that are feeling lonely or feel that way coming close to the Valentine's Day, that it's going to work out. It may not be working out right now, or you may be in the middle of a horrible breakup and it really hurts this time. It hurts anytime. Whenever you have a significant breakup, it hurts anytime. Does the day make it hurt more? I don't think so. I personally don't think so. I think that it hurts no matter what. Whenever you put a lot of time and energy in anything, especially a relationship, it always hurts when it comes to an end. And I know that people are out there and they're alone, but you were alone on the 13th, right? So being alone on the 14th is the exact same thing. The only difference is that all the people that give into this Hallmark holiday make it seem like it's something significant when it's not. I don't wait till February 14th to show love to my wife. I do it all year round. So I never feel obligated to really do anything spectacular on Valentine's Day. It's not something like, if we got the day off together, then fantastic. But it's not like a day that I'm going to take off. You know what I mean? So it's not that significant of a day, and it is made up to make money. And for people to feel so alone and so upset that they either hurt themselves or kill themselves is crazy to me. And I just I know I'm just a small little guy here and I have a teeny tiny voice. I get it. I know. But I want anybody who's listening and watching this podcast to know that it's going to be okay. You can make it to the 15th and it's going to be fine. You don't have to feel. I hope nobody feels that bad. I don't, and I know they probably do, because I mean, with everything else going on in the world, that's just another layer to it that makes all of that much heavier and much harder to deal with. And that's why I feel like I can't speak too much of it, because I have a wife, I am married, but it wasn't always that way, you know? It wasn't always that way. I've been alone on Valentine's Day. I've been sad that I didn't have somebody to share it with. And then I thought, why? You know? I thought, why? Why? And that would get me through it. I'm like, what am I doing? Just go get some alcohol, fucking drink at home, and fuck it. Treat it like a normal day to you. It doesn't even exist. If you have no use for the day or the holiday that they've made up for us, because now almost every day of the year has to signify. It has to be a holiday. Every day of the year has to be a fucking holiday now. We have a holiday for fucking everything. It's so stupid. It's just a fucking day. You know what I mean? And I think we need to think of it more like that, instead of allowing corporate America tell us that we need to go out and do these things on these specific days. You know, there's National Donut Day, and there's this day, and there's this. What the fuck are you talking about? It's just a friggin' Tuesday. We have 5 major holidays. That's it. Stop filling up the calendar with bullshit. You know what I mean? Stop making people feel bad about themselves for no friggin' reason. So I'm not big on Valentine's Day. I still do it. I still enjoy it. I just don't make a big deal of it anymore. Our birthdays, our anniversary, Christmas, those are way more important days. But those are also days that if things are not going so well, don't worry about it. The holidays go away and tomorrow always comes. So, you know, I don't even know where the fuck I was going with this, but I'm just saying that don't believe the hype of Valentine's Day. It's not that big of a deal, okay? I just don't want to see people killing themselves or feeling so down that they fall off the wagon. It's all unnecessary, you know? Go for a run, lift weights, do something that you really enjoy doing. You know, that could be your Valentine's Day. Show love to yourself. All right. And if you do have somebody to share Valentine's Day with, then that's great too. But the person that you have to show the most love to first is yourself. So if you're alone on Valentine's Day, show yourself some love. All right. So those are my things. That's my week. And now we're going to get into some current events, because some crazy shit has been going on, and I didn't get a chance to talk about it last week. So first thing I'm going to get into, without any fucking videos or anything, I'm just talking about it. Joe Rogan. I want to know what is going on. Okay? He has over 2,000 episodes. There's 1,772 episodes of just the Joe Rogan Experience. And then there's 300 some odd episodes of MMA fighting, something like that. And then he had the Fight Companion. And then he had something else. So there's over 2,000 episodes. And I've listened to every single one of those episodes from beginning to end. I've heard all the N-words, and I've heard all the Nintella. All right, that's what I'm going to say. Nintella. I've heard all the words. I heard the way he said it, how he said it, and I don't understand. I don't get it. He said it, but he said it in context with saying it like somebody had said it. And I understand why he felt that it was okay for him to do that. And possibly I feel like it's okay that he apologized for saying it too. I mean, I've never been recorded saying it, you know? And I mean, I've sung it. Am I a horrible person because I like a track and I sing the words and that's part of the words? So I sing it. Am I singing it in public? No, I'm probably in my car or at my house or whatever, but I'm still singing it. I'm not bleeping myself, you know? So I don't understand. If you've listened to the actual episodes, you would understand that what you're trying to do is wrong. Just like the misinformation bullshit. And I'm not saying that I learned anything from listening to the Rogan Experience on COVID. But what I'm saying is that I gathered a lot of that information, and then I listened to more doctors and more podcasts on COVID. I think it's mostly what I absorb over the last 2 fucking years. Everything is fucking COVID. We're trying to figure out how to live with this. And yeah, sure, there was a couple people he probably shouldn't have had on over and over again. Maybe he gave them too much of his platform, and they were misinformed, and they did say things wrong. But you should be doing your due diligence and figuring that out for yourself. You know, the only one that I can really reflect on right now or remember is the guy that said you can't catch COVID twice. Well, we all know that's fucking false, but I didn't have to, I heard that and I said, nah, that's wrong. And so I did my research and I found out he was wrong. But we can't cancel Rogan because of this. We can't. Now, I really do believe that the rumbling and all of these things being said are being brought up not by all the people on Twitter, not by all the people on social media in general. I believe that the strongest arm of all of this is the news companies that have lost all their viewing because why? Because they fucking suck. They suck. CNN sucks. MSNBC sucks. Fox is bullshit. We don't believe a fucking thing you're saying anymore. You're not reliable. You're one-sided. You have one opinion, and it sucks. And I don't like listening to any of them because they're all on one side or the other, right? And now I'm also going to say that Whoopi Goldberg shouldn't have been fired either. I don't think what she said was wrong. Was it arrogant? Was it shocking? Absolutely. But because she says that it wasn't racist because it was white people against white people, even though the Germans turned Judaism or being a Jew into a race, and actually that's why it was called a race war, I believe. Don't quote me on this because I'm not a fucking smart person. I'm not sure. But what I've looked at and what I've read is that the Germans looked at them as a lower race because they were Jewish, right? So therefore, in definition, to me, makes it a racial war, right? But she said it's not because it's white against white. Okay. I think you're stupid. I think your show sucks. I don't know who the fuck actually watches that show and is like, that's my go-to for the news. Just like I don't know who says that about Joe Rogan. Why would you ever watch Joe Rogan's podcast for fucking news, for coverage, for information like that? That's not what he's ever been about. Have you even listened to the first 100 episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience? Have you? Because if you haven't, I can't even talk to you. Because that show was so off the fucking rails. That's the show I miss. All right? I know what he has today is amazing. It's great. Awesome conversations. He has done some deep diving on a lot of subjects that he finds very fascinating and that intrigues him. And I think that's the coolest shit ever. But I still miss the wilding out, those fucking getting high and getting drunk and just being loose-lipped on the mic and shit slips. There's no editing. Remember when he used to do it live? I mean, that was incredible. He was live all the time. And then you fucking people out there, and I don't know who you are, started clipping him in live time and then posting as he was in the middle of his podcast false information on him. So he had to roll it back and then record and edit his podcast. So because of all this shit that you people do to him, he had to change his format. And now I am so happy that he is not being censored. Now, I do not know why 70 episodes were taken down off of Spotify. I don't really fucking care because I already listened to them. So if you didn't listen to them, too bad for you. You miss out. It were great episodes. But I don't care. I've already listened to his entire library, and I don't bounce back very easily. Once I've listened to something, I move on. But what is going on? You know, why is everybody doing this? What is the point? Is it because CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, they're all angry, right? They've lost viewers. They can't get any. They don't understand why he's so big. Why is everybody listening to him? Because he's honest. He's honest. And you're not. You're not. We know you're not. And we're tired of it. But the CEO of Spotify is not censoring or canceling Rogan, which is amazing because he shouldn't. There's no ground for you people to stand on. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my life. Out of all this cancel culture, this is the one thing that really affected me. And I don't understand what the fuck the problem is. Except for the simple fact that we are a society built on reading headlines and then reacting. Because I don't believe anybody who feels the way that they do about Rogan right now has ever listened to a full episode. And all you do is go through clips. So I'm glad that the CEO is not censoring him. He's not taking this podcast off his platform. And as far as everybody else getting off of Spotify, good for you. No one fucking cares about you. Yeah, sure, your music was good in the 70s. People still play it on fucking classic rock radio. But the only reason you're jumping off of Spotify is because, one, you cry about music quality. Well, guess what? Everybody listens to MP3s now. So it's the fastest way to download them. So obviously they're going to, but they gave you an option if you want the higher quality music. You're just too stupid to realize that. This woman that jumped off, Jonah, whatever the fuck, who the hell is she? I've never even heard a track. And then you got other artists jumping off of Spotify. Good riddance. Good riddance. I do not understand what you think this is going to do. And then it was Neil Young, right? For him to jump off of Spotify and go to fucking Amazon? Come on, people. Amazon just raised our yearly rates to $130 fucking dollars a year. For what? For you to make more employees piss and shit in a fucking jar so they can get the product from A to B faster? And like I said earlier, I wish I could be funny. I'm not. None of this makes any fucking sense to me. I'm angry and I'm upset. And I don't get it. But I'm glad. Get off of Spotify. Leave. Who cares? I don't really know how this affects anybody listening to their music, but you can get them on a different platform, right? So you can still get their music. And if you already downloaded it on Spotify, then you own it now, right? They can't take away your downloads. They can only take away what's not downloaded, what's available. But for anybody to be jumping on this bandwagon to ban Joe Rogan is absolutely insane to me. And I don't get it, because free speech is the most important thing that we all have. I have every right to come on here and talk about how angry I am about this. I also have the right to come on here and talk about my alcoholism. I could talk about my politics. I could talk about whatever the fuck I want. It's freedom of speech. Now, the platforms is where it differs. If I talk too much about one thing, or I get crazy, or I can be taken down. I can be demonetized. I can be canceled. I can have strikes against me, and I can have my podcast taken away, because that's the right of the platform. I get it. There's other platforms, right? So because of that reason, you're not limited to one space anymore. But let's get real. This has to stop. Whether you agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. You don't get the right to stop somebody from talking because it doesn't fit your narrative. So, unless you want the right of freedom of speech ripped away from everybody, and you want to live more like China, and you're not allowed to speak about Biden, you're not allowed to speak about our government, you're not allowed to speak about anything or anybody, because that's the road you're going down. This doesn't end here. This gets worse. And by the CEO not censoring Rogan and not listening to the masses, and by maybe possibly taking down all the podcasts with the N-word in it, which I don't understand why they did that in the first place. All they had to do was send a list of all those podcasts to Rogan, right? Hey, every single one of these we got to take down because of X, Y, and Z. Okay, I've got the best producer in the fucking world, right? Jamie is the best. That's what he's always saying. So Jamie goes through the fucking footage and 86s all the bad shit. I don't know. There's other ways to fix this issue. Going back and holding people accountable for shit that they did in the past is absolutely and positively ridiculous. Do you see any other country in the fucking world going back and going, we were bad 300 years ago and we need to make up for this? We are the youngest country in the fucking world. We are the youngest. Everybody is racist. Everybody enslaves people. Every single fucking country. We're not the only ones. But this is not the right example to be setting. This still isolates us. This still keeps us separated. Why can't we get to a point where we all just collaborate? I just want everybody to fucking collaborate. Bounce ideas off of each other. And just because you disagree with it doesn't make it a bad idea. It just makes it an idea that you disagree with. This is not misinformation because he's not there to give you all the information. He's doing exactly what most of us are doing today, trying to figure this out, but he gets to do it on a bigger scale because he's actually talking to people that have been dealing with this since the beginning. They've been involved in it some way or another. And he's getting everybody's information. And if you listen to all of those podcasts, you can get a pretty good idea of where this is going today, of how to deal with it. But I don't know. I think I've already gone on way too long, but this is crazy, and I'm super pumped that they didn't cancel it, and I don't think they should. And if they do, I hope he does the exact same thing that Breaking Points does, and he makes his own fucking website, and you have people go there and pay $5 a month, and then you can watch everything. Because that's the next step, people. We won't be on platforms anymore. It'll just be, talkinwithtopher.com, and now you pay $5 a month to listen to me rant and rave. Because if this is the way it's going, I don't think this is all going to survive. And remember this as well. All of you out there with your pitchforks and your torches and everything else, yelling and screaming to have this happen. It will happen to you. You will slip up. You will make a mistake. And then they'll all turn on you. Because this doesn't end. And I'm sorry, the first apology that he came out with, which I didn't think was really an apology, it was more of a, hey, I never expected it to be this way, which he has said for years now. And to say everything was strange was actually a very good word. But his second apology for using the N-word, I felt was weak. I felt it was weak because I felt it was unnecessary. I don't think he needs to do any of this. He's so good, or has been so good, to not pay attention. This was actually more of, it confused me. I was like, why is he doing this? Why isn't he just fucking ignore it and just go do his show like he always does? But this has got to stop. China, Japan, South Africa, Africa. I mean, you go anywhere in the world, and they're not looking back on how they treated people and being like, that was wrong, tear down the statues. You know what I mean? None of that's happening anywhere else, but it's happening here. And is it because we're the youngest country that it's happening here? Because, if you want to look at countries, right? And you want to look at, you want to go by age, right? So as I get older, I get more mature. I do less and less stupid shit, right? But America's young compared to all the rest of the fucking world. So that tells me that we're just immature. We're all still immature. What? Teenagers, kids, whatever. you know? So just like, uh, how about this? If we keep going down this road, eventually somebody will see the weakness, and then we won't have to worry about our democracy and being able to vote and whether or not we're racist. We will have actual war on our home ground because we won't be paying attention to somebody attacking us. I think we're making ourselves more vulnerable to an actual attack from an older country because they are looking at this and they're just sitting there. They're drooling. They're watching this country fall the fuck apart and they're loving it. And like all great empires, they fall. And the only thing that does to me is make me frightened of our future and frightened of my future because I really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So I think this all needs to stop. And, you know, I'd love to give that guy a high five for not canceling Joe Rogan. And honestly, go listen to his podcast. Don't listen to the clips. Don't listen to the bits and pieces, and don't listen to what people tell you. Go and listen to the podcast. Because I bet you if you did, you would not think this way. Slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. That's slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. You're not sure how to spell that? It's right here at the bottom of the screen. Or click the link in the description below the video. Are you looking for that something, for that perfect someone in your life? Well, this Valentine's Day, get them some Slow Down merchandise. That's right. How about this brand new winter jacket? This thing is amazing. I love the way they did the inside of the jacket, the prints, the colors, the designs, everything about it is so amazing. It's also got this great pocket inside to keep your cell phone or whatever else you want to keep safe while you're skiing or snowboarding maybe. Just an amazing, amazing jacket. I absolutely love it. And they have so much more. They got brand new socks, this brand new hat. Maybe that person that you love so much loves to skateboard. They got brand new decks. They got a whacked out snail. They got an octopus. Maybe they like leggings. Well, Slowdown's got many leggings to choose from. Or maybe you just want to get them a t-shirt. Well, there's plenty of those to choose from. You want a sweatshirt? I mean, the gloves, they're one of my favorites, are the gloves. But you can only get this stuff at slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. That's slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. You're not sure how to spell that? It's right here at the bottom of the screen, or you can click the link in the description below the video. New Hampshire Vape Gallery is located at 180 Lafayette Road, Seabrook, New Hampshire, down the street from Home Depot and next to Smoke Rings, where we're open 7 days a week from 10:30 to 8 p.m. Feel free to give us a call, 603-814-4171, and you're always welcome to spend cash in our store. But we've got it all. We've got all kinds of new juice showing up. That's right, Candy King Bubble line. Bubblegum line. You got the Curious line that showed up. I've got more and more to choose from. I got some graham cracker in stock made by Yogi. So I am making the selection even bigger than it was before all the companies decided to either stop producing or had to sell ownership over to somebody else that could handle shipping and handling. and taxes. I mean, this stuff has gone crazy. I mean, it's all going synthetic. That's right. Synthetic nicotine is the newest thing now. That's what's happening across the board. There's brand new devices. There's brand new disposables. There's 5,000 puff hides. There's 5,000 puff Escobars. So everybody keeps making a bigger and bigger disposable nowadays. That's the thing that everybody's going towards, and we've got them all in stock for you. That's right. They're ready to go. So come on down to New Hampshire Vape Gallery, located at 180 Lafayette Road, Seabrook, New Hampshire, down the street from Home Depot and next to Smoke Rings, where we're open 7 days a week from 10:30 to 8 p.m. Feel free to give us a call, 603-814-4171, and I look forward to seeing you there. NaturalBossNH.com. That's NaturalBossNH.com. I love this website. What more can I say? I've been talking about them for almost 2 years now. They have some of the best organic products I've ever used. Their body balm and lip balm are amazing. To one, keep your skin nice and smooth and fresh. And then again, the lip balm keeps your lips from cracking. Same with the body balm. I mean, they're both going to do pretty much the same. One's just designed for your body. One's designed for the lips. And then, of course, you have the Fancy Pete Herbal Remedy Salve, which is great for repairing damaged skin. I loved it. I used it on my neck. It helped bring all the moisture back into my skin. And then the body balm keeps it there so that my neck doesn't crack again over this. The cold air is just brutal on our skin. And then you got to protect it. They've also got a beard oil. They got a foot and body soak, which is great for melting those stressful days away. And then, of course, you got the Feeling Rosy foot and bath soak. It's on sale for $6 while supplies last. So go to naturalbossnh.com. That's naturalbossnh.com. Buy one or all 6 of these products today. And now, back to the show. All right, but anyways, let's get into some current events. Okay, so this one is, I'm going to try to be comical. Bear with me. I don't think I need to make this big. I don't think I need to play the video. I'm just going off the headline. And hey, New Hampshire native Alan Shepard walked on the moon 51 years ago. Isn't that something? Now, this one I find to be funny because I think the moon landing was fake. And I know this is probably the most touch and go podcast I've ever had. But I'm sorry, I've seen those videos. I've seen the strings. I've seen everything that goes against us actually landing on the moon. Like, I'm sorry, the cameras that they had back then were giant cameras, and you're gonna tell me that somebody was up on the moon taking video footage of this person planting the flag and getting off the thing and walking around and doing all this shit when we are just figuring out more space than ever today? We got that new telescope they just threw up there that's seeing some stuff. We got the space station. You don't see anybody up there with freaking cameras, and if they do, they're little ones, and they're built on. It's not the same. So, do I believe we went to the moon? I don't. I don't believe we went to the moon. I believe that in order for us to win the race, we had to fake it to make it. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But we've never been back to the moon since, which is very interesting to me. You know? It baffles the mind. You know, we got shit going on in Mars. We got space stations getting ready to be crashed into the ocean. Elon Musk flew a Tesla up in space. We got a new space station coming. We got this crazy ass telescope floating around up there now. But we've never been back to the moon? Why? So even though one of the probably the greatest things we ever did, by getting to the moon before everybody else, even though we had the very, very, very capable of making film, it's been 51 years. So is it been 51 years since we faked it? Or did we actually go to the moon? And the only way for us to kind of prove it was to make that fake footage. I don't know. You tell me. But I thought this was fun. He was native to Derry, New Hampshire. And it was 51 years ago that he went on the moon. And let's see. My next one is a woman accused of setting fire to home with children inside asked to be allowed to see the children. What the fuck is wrong with you, lady? What the? You set your house on fire with your kids inside of it, and then you get arrested for doing so, and now you're like, I really want to see my kids. This disgusts me. All right? I'm so glad that they didn't get killed, but let's just see what's going on here.
Yeah, that's correct, Gene. Mary Corliss is out on bail, but one of those bail conditions is that she have no contact with her children. She was in court this morning looking to change that. Now, Corliss faces several charges, including felony arson. Prosecutors alleging that in February of last year, she set fire to her home in Webster with the children barricaded inside. Now, both Corliss and the children suffered injuries in the fire that required hospitalization. The children med-flighted to Boston. The state contends that Corliss set the fire, and the children confirmed that to first responders. The prosecution says allowing visits could cause the children mental anguish. In asking for supervised visits, though, with the children, the defense noted that Corliss is presumed innocent, adding that a report from the insurance investigator concluded that the state's case, in the words of the defense, is not a slam dunk.
It is my professional opinion that the fire originated in the second floor southeast bedroom threshold area of the doorway to the hallway. The cause of the fire is undetermined.
To open up and re-traumatize these children because she wants to see them based on this case, she is still, in the state's view, a danger to the public.
The judge took the matter under advisement. We also learned more about the trial after the defense said it rejected the prosecution's plea bargain. Both sides expect the trial will take about a week. At least 3 expert witnesses will be called. And because of scheduling conflicts, the trial won't take place until January of 2023. Reporting live in Concord, Ray Brewer, WMUR News.
Well, all I have to say about that is it's okay, it's undetermined. That's fine. But still, I'm wondering, like, they were barricaded. So obviously something was done to where they couldn't get out and they had to be rescued. And then there was a fire on the second floor where the kids were at. So we'll see what happens in 2023, I guess. But I don't know, man. Anytime you see something like this and you're like, but, it's like the lady who drowned her kids. It's horrible and it's sad and it sucks. But I think she's guilty, personally. But who knows? I might be wrong about this one. Okay, so this one here I thought was really funny. This is 20 people arrested for using drones to deliver over 100 pounds of contraband to South Carolina prison. This I thought was fucking cool because, I don't know, I've done time. It's not fun. And all kinds of people got all kinds of shit in there. But with today's technology, this takes it to a whole new level. I mean, they got people on the outside flying drones over and dropping packages. What, in the yard when people are out there? I mean, that's awesome. I mean, it's just cool. Let's check this out. Okay, so this is the contraband. Look at that. Those are fucking ecstasy pills. You got cell phones. You got wires. You got plugs. Is that a video game thing right here? I don't even know. Maybe batteries. A whole bunch of pot, it looks like. Oh, there's the drone. That's a drone. That's a drone remote. Okay, I get it. And so, let's see. An 8-month investigation at a South Carolina prison has resulted in a confiscation of more than 100 pounds of contraband and 20 arrests. The State's Department of Corrections announced Thursday the Lee County Sheriff's Office opened a probe into frequent nightmare drone assaults at the Lee Correctional Institution in Bishopville in May 2021. Since then, officials have seized an estimated 100 pounds of tobacco, 13 pounds of marijuana, 843 grams of methamphetamines, 114 grams of crack cocaine, 49 grams of cocaine, 12 drones, 3 guns, 2 knives, 25 cell phones, and $6,393 in cash. Authorities also discovered abandoned drones in the woods near the prison's fences that contain about 100 grams of meth and 5 pounds of tobacco. What the that is so wild. That's so crazy. Today's technology is amazing. Let's just give it up for technology, okay? That is so wild to read. It's so wild to read. The video was not of that. It was about a fight that broke out because of MS-13 gang-related fights. So, but this is absolutely hilarious. I mean, this really does beat shoving it up your ass to get it inside, right? Or having to swallow it and then poop it out later. This really beats that. But I thought this was a funny one to kind of, you know, freshen the palate and end the podcast with. I just hope, you know, I really do hope that everybody has a great Valentine's Day. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I just don't. I think we make it more than it has to be today. All right. It doesn't have to be this elaborate thing. And if you want to show that special someone in your life a little bit of extra love, do it. Do it anyways. Don't just do it because it's the day to do it. Do it because you want to do it. All right. So that's the podcast today. You know, I want to thank everybody for watching and listening and subscribing. And, you know, you really do keep me coming back here week after week. So I'm always very, very thankful. And if you are watching or listening to the podcast, remember to subscribe. That's right. If you're watching, hit that subscribe button. It's the only thing I'm asking you to do. It's the most important thing to me. It means basically nothing to you. But if you want more, then set those alarms so you know when all the new podcasts upload. Share, rate, review, and of course, make friends in the comments. All of that helps the algorithm and it helps the podcast grow, and I need your help to do it. If you want to follow me, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. Again, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. I'm on there every week, almost all week, trying to give you extra content throughout the week. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. Every handle is different. And then if you want to get more involved with the podcast, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. That's the official email of the podcast. You want to get some free Slowdown merch while supplies last, put Slowdown in the subject line, and then send that on over to talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. That's talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And I hope everybody has a great Thursday. I hope you enjoy your weekend. And as always, I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you later.